Now, guys, always remember that when you're feeling your lowest or you're feeling like you're in trouble mentally or whatever, always remember how your mother thought of you. Now, some people didn't have a good mother. Some people's moms weren't very good, and they might not have a very solid foundation of what to believe in. But I mean, some people, there are a lot of mothers I know for a fact. I mean, I don't know 100% sure, but I mean, there's a lot of mothers that are really, really good to their kids and super talented and super energetic and amazing. And even if they're tired and they're working hard raising the kids, I mean, they're great mothers, right? They're affectionate. They love their kids. They love their spouses, right? So always refer back to your mother, right? If you have like any trouble in life, you feel like no one's taking your side and you're not even doing anything wrong, then you have to remember your mother was always there for you, right? And you have to remember there's good in the world. I know sometimes it doesn't seem like it. Maybe certain days you feel like nobody cares, or you feel like nobody's interested, or nobody likes you, or whatever. But really, there's a lot of good in the world, and you have to really focus on that. You have the toughest times, and you have to remember that some of the harshest critics, people that judge the most or have the hardest time in society and judge the most, sometimes they're the ones that are suffering the most in silence, and so they judge others, right? So you have to remember it's not something that you have to um, overcome in one day. It's not something you have to really figure out in one day, but you have to really remember that it's important to remember that we're all like Liam Payne had passed away, and he was into several drugs. I'm sure he had lots of drugs, and he was like a star, and he started young, and he was adorable, right? But stardom, money, fame, good looks doesn't necessarily save you, right? So you have to remember that if you have less, maybe you want more and you want to strive for more, go for more, right? And you want to go for realistic goals. What are you talented in? Go find out what your skills are at an employee research center where they do a personality test on you or whatever. Sometimes it takes, and if you're in your 20s, sometimes it takes a long time to figure out what your skills are, right? So, learn about that, right? If you're good at social media, remember that the more famous you get, the harder it is. You have to really remember that it's not really something to worry about because you should be having fun, right? You should not be worried about hate or anything, right? We all get hated in social media, and the more popular you are, you get hated more, right? But it's not a big deal because you have to really remember that those people actually like you. It's just they think that you think that they don't like you because they're saying negative things. But like, imagine seeing your favorite celebrity in person. I mean, most people are going to be uncomfortable, right? So the reaction is you're going to react, right? So that's why people have a hard time with you because maybe you're going to be huge, right? And you have to remember what's important, right? The whole social media thing, yes, great. Do social media, make more videos, do more live shows, be stunning, be amazing. But the true essence of happiness, yes, make all that money, do all those things. But the true essence of happiness is how you feel when you are alone in your mind, or even in public when you're thinking, or even with your friends. How do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel loved? Do you feel you have good friends? Do you feel your relationships with your spouse or partners, etc., is good? Do you feel your career lines up with what you want, whether you're a performer or not? Do you feel that um, your money's not enough and you know you can make more, but you don't know, and you kind of know how, but you never do that? Work on making more, right? And you have to remember too, a lot of people are not capable of making more money or doing more. And that doesn't mean you can't dream big. Doesn't mean you can't follow your dreams. Doesn't mean you can't strive for your dreams. Doesn't mean that you can't try something new that maybe you can do really well and be famous and do well. Like, I'm not saying give up, ever, never give up. If you're the type of person that never gives up, find something that's gonna pay lots, right? But at the end of the day, if like let's say you're retired and you're 65 and you're on old age pension, CPP, and you don't want to work, well, maybe the income's low, right? Not necessarily. Some people have investments, some people do other stuff, and you can find ways. I always believe there's something you can do to find ways to be richer, and it's important never to give up if you're trying. and make sure that you take care of yourself while you're trying. But there are, obviously some people make very little money, and you can't tell who that is, right? I mean, there's some people that are older that are making tons and tons of money, right? You can't tell when looking at a crowd, right? I mean, even the biggest celebrity, the biggest business person, if you look at them when they're 90, they're going to look different than when they were 20, right? And they look like everyone else, right? But yes, maybe some of them obviously think it's better, but I mean, some people age really well even though they're poor, right? But in general, in this world, it's tough, and we have to work out what we need to do, and we have to figure out for ourselves what is our solution for ourselves, right? What can we do to benefit ourselves? What are we focusing on? What are we focusing our energy on? Is it positive? Is it going to get us somewhere? Is it going to lead us somewhere? If we're really struggling, is there a way to make us not struggle as much, right? Is there a way we can manage our stress? Maybe call a counseling line, right? Maybe call, see a counselor if you need to. And these are just suggestions that I'm not saying. There's some people that are doing so well, they're doing amazing, they don't worry, they've got money, they've got all these things. They're not depressed. You could watch this to enjoy my look or whatever. Um, but, and of course I love everybody watching. And maybe you know someone that's not doing well, but in general, it's a hard world to live in, right? But make it easier for yourself. You can make it an easy world to live in by just thinking differently and focusing on better things, right? Like if you're focusing on conspiracy theories, which you can, people like them, people enjoy them, and some people maybe they're having frustration with their conspiracy theories, maybe it's hard for them, but they watch and focus. Why not, right? Some of them you might think are true, maybe they are. I don't know. I can't say for sure, but if it's causing you stress, or if you're obsessed with it, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the good conspiracy theory. I love everything on social media, but and some of them might be true, right? You don't know, but I mean, if you're focusing all your energy on these things that don't get you anywhere, how is that going to help? I mean, and if you are someone that's on a tight budget, saving money does help too, right? I mean, saving money for a rainy day does help. I know it's tough and you want to have extra money and all that. Very important, but some people try to win the lottery. It's rare, but you can win, right? It's possible. I mean, it's rare, but I mean, some people really have a hard time because in general, there's like no money sometimes, right? So really, like I said, Liam Payne passed away. He had lots of money, right? He was rich, right? He was successful. He was dating all these pretty, pretty girls, but he was into drugs too much. I mean, if you're not into drugs too much, you're fine. But and some people are. Some people can do too many drugs and they're fine, right? But anyway, Liam Payne passed away. There's people. Obviously, we all live and die, right? So make your journey in life an easier one. Make it less stressful. And if you're having a situation where you really have a hard time, and it's something you could bounce back from, take precautions to make sure that happens, right? Make sure you're happy, right? Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Bye now.